Hey guys, this is Gutsy here, bringing you another how-to tutorial video. This one's basically the same as my last one I just did, which was the Earthshaker Lane Breaker, but it involves Clockwerk instead, and we are on the Dire. You could do this with Clockwerk on both teams, and there's all kinds of heroes that could do this kind of thing. So I'm not gonna go into every single hero, but I just figured let's bring it from a Dire's perspective and another hero's perspective, just so that you fully get a grasp on the whole lane breaker strategy. So without further ado, let's begin. Ooh, again I start off mid, and let's make that free camera and for both teams. But anyways, so here's Clockwerk. All you really need is power cogs and quelling blade. That's it. You could go any other items you want with him. To keep it safe, it's good to go 2 clarities, just so that you have the right amount of mana to keep cogging for as long as you need. Then you could go whatever else you want. It's kind of a good idea to go for basilius as soon as possible. It just helps to push the lane for later on, but you don't have to go it. It's all situational. So with Clockwerk, your landmark, I'm just going to pause for a second. Your landmark is going to be right here, this bush thing, because directly across from it is where you're going to be doing the lane block. Or the creep block, sorry. So, you're going to go in, cut down this tree, just so that you could go up there if you have to. You could also move around when you use cogs to try and let the creeps go through. But you want to cut as close to the wall as possible, because if you cut like this tree, that's gonna be open and the whole thing's gonna be ruined. It won't work. You could cut into here, or you don't even have to cut into there. You could just cut all the way down to here, but just make sure not to cut down this tree. You could cut these two and have a nice little way. And this is just where the creeps are going to be going. Now, unfortunately, the creeps are going to be going back and up consistently, no matter what way you cut. So this is a much more difficult way of creep blocking compared to like the Earthshaker one, which is pretty much 100% secured. This one you have to move around a bit more and just plan out a bit better so that you get as many creeps as possible in the camp, because with this lane block you do not always get creeps in the camp. So there you go, there's 3. I'm gonna cut that thing, my cog, move up to here, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna stand right at the edge of these 2 trees. You don't want to stand earlier or things are just gonna get all weird. So yeah, I'm just gonna pause for a second. Basically what I did there was, at the beginning you could start out in the lane, but otherwise you're gonna be moving from here out to block the creeps. It's very dependent when you move out, not so much time factored, but how you position. So I like to do it the minute I touch a creep, or just like a slight delay after. That way I could pretty much always get 2 creeps, and 3 if I'm really lucky. And then you want to break the cog, and the creeps will pour into here. You could go walk to the corner of your cogs to help them get in, or you could walk this way. This way later on is a bit tricky, because you're going to have a bunch of creeps trying to run out all the time. And they might get in your way, so sometimes it's better to do it in here, and then you could just walk in. But like I said, this one isn't 100%. You're going to be missing a lot and stuff like that, but it's still a lane block, and it does work. And the nice thing about this one is that your tower's somewhat close. So if creeps come here, and you're right standing here, you have a chance of getting a bit of EXP compared to if you were doing the Earthshaker one over here, or just the Clockwerk one over there. So let's continue on. And the nice thing about Clockwerk is if you level rockets, you do have a chance of getting some experience while you're here. But normally you're going to be doing this in the lane with someone else. It's just for an example, I don't have anyone else with me, but normally someone else is going to be in your lane. You're not doing this alone. You're not in your lane alone, actually. So there you go, I'm going to move up, go here. This creep kind of bugged, so he didn't enter the pit. Just the downside of this lane block. But the upside is you have a chance of getting some EXP. See, I'm almost level 2. And, yeah. But it's still just as effective. And yeah. So here we go, we're going to see it again. Move out, cog, I got 3, break that. I could go in the corner there, but either way, I'm going to go up here. I get 2 more. 2 is usually good. If you get 1, that's kind of poor, but minimum you want 2. 3 is just really ideal, and yeah. And if you're using rockets, you could use those alacrities to give you mana just so that you could keep doing this. When do you want to stop doing this? I'd say around the 3:30 mark, because then you wait for the 4 o'clock creeps to come out. That's the creep wave after the siege creep. And it just makes it stronger. A lot of people do it earlier, but you could wait one more wave. So when the 4-minute mark comes, that's when you let them out, which is when the creep wave hits this tower. That's when you're going to move out, and they'll all bunch up, just like in my Earthshaker video. So we're just going to speed this up, because we don't want to watch this all day. So move out. There we go. See, I'm moving the corner. It doesn't really work for that one, but that's another option you could use to help get the creeps in the camp. So I've got quite a bit, actually. This is an okay amount. See, they're not really going down here. They don't really get blocked later on. But just keep doing this. And the nice thing is, it's not as safe as the last one, but your teammate does have some creeps to help him out, so he could pretty much pick any hero to go in the lane rather than picking like an axe or something, because it's not necessarily needed. So yeah, there's the wagon, 3:30. So we're gonna be letting these guys out pretty soon. When this wave comes, I should be letting them out right now. There we go. So they're all gonna go out, and they're all gonna head down to bust the lane. Actually, I could just speed this up. But yeah, I don't have a basilius, but that would really help, and usually you're going to have a courier on your team, so you could bring it down. Now, there is a little trick with Clockwerk. You could do this with, like, Earthshaker and the other one, but you could just, you know, move over, just hold this wave off while the creeps pummel. And there's one tower. I have my basilius, but whatever. No courier, so I can't bring it, but that would really help. Continue to push the wave. And with the tier 2, remember, you're factoring that you're playing against heroes with this, so this is harder to do, but you can do something like this. Just help keep the creeps back, and actually 2 of them drew, so they're helping to keep the creeps back also longer. Which just destroys the tower much faster. So there's tier 2 towers, that's your goal at the 5 minute and 30-second mark. And then if you're dedicated to like a 5-man team push, you could push right up to the racks. But again, it's easy to counter. You just grab one of these creeps if you're on the other team and pull them back to the well. Or you could just counter this strat entirely with like a Dark Seer or, you know, anything AoE Bat Rider, stuff like that.